feel like it doesn't go live until the exact time. And according to my my clock, I have 3.5 minutes. So I guess we'll see. But I am pulling up my iPad so I can see, whoops, so I can see comments. All right, there we are. Looks like I am live. Great. Yay. All right, everybody. Hello. Now that I just flashed you my boobs. So today I thought I would work on sewing this thing finally into my book. I made this. God, it's been over a year. It might even have been 2 years ago, because I think I was trying to hammer out the technique of creating my own journal loom to include in this journal. And I got this idea from these ladies at the Triangle Weavers Guild. And hey, Jenny Lynn, yay! Thanks for joining me. All right, so I got this idea from the Triangle Weavers Guild, and there were these women, these weavers there, and they were making journals, and they had created these little paper looms. And it wasn't, it looked like they had used a laser cut. And these are this I hand cut myself. But it was really brilliant. There was a textile artist. She's a quilter, and she had gone up to process her mother's estate. And so she was going through stuff, and she brought this little handmade journal that she had that had pages of this like little baby loom, and in between pages of like her other book, and it was not very many pages overall. And they used to sell these kits, and I was trying to get the kits to bring with me. Let me see if I can put my hands on the kit right here. Oh yeah, here we go. See, they had these kits, these paper loom kits. And I don't think they're selling them anymore. If they are, I would totally like turn you guys on to them. But this is what it would include, and these little looms like this. And then you tape them into, they had like these pages and things that you could, I guess, tape, do together. And it was, this was, I think, the cover, or no, maybe these created the cover, or no, the box created the cover. Good grief. Yeah, so it would be the box would create the cover, and you can tip in these little looms and bits, and it was just this brilliant little fabulous thing. I love it. And I was trying to get some to take with me to Taos, order a batch of them, or even just bring them to sell and bring them back the money, because I knew that, there was a group of people that would just love these. Anyway, but they're not making them anymore. So I went to go create my own version of this, and I was thinking, how could I, because like I said, these look like they had laser cut them. Hey, bee lady, thanks for joining. So they had these, I could tell, because it's like the edges are kind of worn or like burnt. So that's why I assumed it was laser cut. And they had, and this is a lot thicker than this. But I did make one out of a piece of cardboard, and like I want to say this is like a cereal box or something. And I just cut it out and put it, and I found a way to bind it into my book, because I didn't have a really good way, and they didn't leave a good margin to bind it into your book. So I shifted all the little cuts across the top. I don't know if you can, I taped over it to kind of hold this warp into place. And this is a way flimsier cardstock. This was the first one I did, and I went to something thicker, and all I'm using is like, I mean, upcycled cardboard. Like I'm trying to see, I had been tripping over it because I saved stuff, because they also make good, you can cover it in paper, and they make really good just book covers. And then I just warp it up, and you can just put ephemera in there. I mean, that's what I did here. Look, I wove, some of my favorite yarns and some of my favorite ribbon, and this is where I tried out a stamp. And this woman who took her journal with her to go, to go deal with her mother's estate, she had like scraps of fabric from her mother's work aprons and little bits and leaves and sticks and stuff that she would weave into the stuff, and then she would draw. She would sketch out like bits of the scenery, because I want to say she was like in Maine. And so she would sketch out bits of the scenery, and then parts of the, things that she was collecting from her mom's estate as she was, going through everything. Little stuff that she could just tuck into her journal, or things that she would find when she would go walking on the beach. And she would tuck it in, and the images were juxtaposed to what the ephemera that she was putting in there was just amazing. And it was just fascinating. There was like an interactive element to her journal, and I just fell in love with that idea. So I started to play with how I would do it, since these ladies were not making these looms anymore, and I thought that there would be a way to do it. And I had gone through down the path of, well, I get a Cricut cutter that could, do that, and you could. I bet you probably could, come up with a PDF to do that. But I just took my X-Acto blade and a hole puncher and cut out my own. I don't know if you guys can see back on this side where I have the slits in the top, and I only went down by what, maybe a 1/4 inch, maybe not even a 1/2 inch. And then sometimes I would weave it, I would do the warp this way, so where it wasn't on the back. But in this one, I took some of the warp and went to the back, but not with the whole warp. So the full warp is on the front. And instead of going this way back and forth, some of them I went ahead and went all the way around. So it created a loom on the back side as well. And then I cut out some pages from my journal. As you can see here, I cut out, I think I have 4 pages. I just went in and I left myself a good 1/2 inch here, because then that way it gave me somewhere to stitch that journal in. And so I punched holes through all these layers and then stitched it in, which I did so similarly here, but I used a hole punch. And it's, that's kind of big. It doesn't need to be that big. And I don't have a whole lot of pages torn out from this one. I just have 2 pages as opposed to 4. 4 gave me a little more depth for this thick stuff, even though I probably could have even gone thicker, especially on this side. But what I'll probably do to make up for this is somewhere along the line, of course I haven't done it so far, is cut out some more pages back here, because overall it'll smush down. I mean, there'll be like some bending on this part here, but it won't stretch the spine as much. So, as it feels like this is getting too thick, then a lot of times I'll just go ahead and cut some of these pages out. And then I'll keep the pages, because those become pages then that you can turn around and, jelly print or use, to construct. You can construct a fold out. Like I could take a page, and do a fold out from here. And then I have a large spread. You can do all kinds of great things. You can make pockets. I could, cut through the side here, fold it, cut it on the diagonal, and then tape or glue the edge down. And then I've got a pocket to stuff some stuff in. So there's all kinds of ways you can approach that. So today, what I thought I would do is I thought I would go in and stitch this here. Oh, this way. Because I like this spread. I mean, the spread has been around for a while. I've painted this a while back when I was playing with trying to use gouache with the jelly plate. And I can do gouache with a jelly plate, kind of works, but not as well as acrylic. I mean, you can get some good effects, but it just doesn't go down the same. And then it gets all kind of gross on your jelly plate and crummy and weird. Okay, I'm reading comments. Blick has the mini cardboard ones. Oh, cool. I can't post it here, but the name of it is Innovar chipboard weaving looms. Mini. Oh, you know what? It's interesting because I do have some like that too. Wait, hold on. Let me show you. Because I use them for covers of this book I'm making. It's like a loom book. So you would weave the cover of this. But the only thing is that they're kind of thick. I mean, these are like really thick. But they make great covers. So, yeah, there's you could do some bookbinding, some traditional bookbinding, and then you have this cover where you could totally, warp it up and weave it, and that becomes like your project book or something. So there's some great things. But what I thought I would also do, and now I can't find that. Oh, what did I just lose it? No, it's here. So this is the yarn that I had dyed for the warp on that weaving that I was working on Friday. This is a bamboo that I had picked up at some point. I want to say I found it as a mill end even. I don't even think I found it. I don't even think it was something that I had ordered like as fresh stock. I want to say it was a mill end that I had come across that was all bamboo, which means it probably came from Earthguild, which was in Asheville, downtown Asheville. And so I used to go there and buy up their remnants, their mill ends, like on my lunch break, because I used to work downtown, and I used to go in and buy up their mill ends because I would use it to ply my art yarn. Oh, wait, am I way too far over? Here, let me move this over. So I would use it to ply my art yarn. So I did this to warp up to do a test dyeing for this rainbow dyeing. So this is the yarn from that. And I want to go ahead and put that into my book. I want to say that I started that page in this one. Was it this one? Oh my goodness, I have too many books. No, it wasn't this one. It was, oh, now this is going to drive me nuts. Hold on. Hold the phone. I think it was this one. Yes, this one. So, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to smash that in there right now. So I want to do something, like tying it in here, but I'm going to work on this later. So I want to, to document that this was the warp from this. But these were the ties that I had tied off, sectioning off, to kind of keep the warp from going nuts in the dye bath. Well, it wasn't in it. We hand painted it, but we had to dip it in soda ash. So anyway, so what in the journal looks like a corset lacing? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it kind of does, right? And it's actually like a bookbinding technique. I'm using the same technique that I do for here. So this is just a single signature, and I'll show you what I do. But I start in the middle, and I'll sew this way, sew all the way back, and then sew back this way. And that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to just reuse this wonderfully dyed just yarn that just remnant yarn they had at the Weavers Guild when we were doing that class. And I was going to put it in here. And I want this to be kind of like, it seems like the last couple of weeks, I feel like I've been doing a lot of introspection now that I've been, kind of got my bearings a little bit. And I just need a place to like write in my journal. And I just haven't done that in a really, really long time. And I'll show you, like, what's it? This one? Yeah. You see, this is how I used to write in my journal, because I was finding that somebody was reading my journal entries and it was kind of like invasive. So I started to write in a way that's kind of hard for you to read it. But now I'm not in a place where somebody's going to be reading my journals, and I'm going to turn around and maybe put, I want to put like do some like classic journaling. And so I think I'm going to glue an envelope here, and then, leave this open for some visual journaling and then some ephemera and stuff. And I just want to document this time right now because I feel like I've been going through some growing stuff in a good way. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to do today, and just prepare this section because I love these colors. And a part of me thought that I would, put the envelope here, but that's going to cover up so much. I don't want to do that. I want to do something that's going to complement the colors that I have here, and some ephemera that I can pull. Like today, if I had been smart, but I was tired, we went to my friend, one of my best friends, just moved here. She was living in San Francisco, and actually, we both used to live in Birmingham. And when she moved to San Francisco, I was looking to move, and I ended up in North Carolina. And so both of us have, been on other sides of the country for 25 years. And so now her daughter has been in college, and she just this past week moved to Durham. And today was the first time that we just, since she's moved here, that we just got together and went and did something. And there was a crafts show. And we went down and just kind of walked around, and we went to this food truck rodeo and walked around there and just had a delightful time. And if I had had my shit together, I would have pulled business cards from all of the fabulous places that we saw that I could just tuck into a little envelope, just like I did here. This was a craft show that I went to in Asheville in December of 2019, and these are all the little cards of some of my favorite things that I saw while I was there. So that's when it's always great for me to put things in here, because you want to keep those cards, but I don't have a Rolodex anymore, so usually that just gets thrown somewhere. But it's a great place to keep it in my journal, because these were inspirational to me, these other artists. And so I keep it in my journal, and I can go back and reference them. And it just seems like the perfect place for that stuff to live. All right, so let me see who else is here. I'm reading comments. Signature boards. I love the way you're putting it in the journal. Like, what's it? Yes, I love this. Oh, hey, Angie. It's good to see you guys. All right. So I am going to, and I've got this curved needle. You don't have to have a curved needle. It's just, I use this for bookbinding because it's a little easier, and it just is the only thing that I have right at within reach. So I'm going to unknot this, and I'm going to thread this up. If it'll fit in this one, I might have to go get my tapestry needle after all, but we'll see. And I'm going to get sewing. So nothing super fancy, and I've got this green one. I'll see if I'll need that green one, and if so, I'll probably do some creative tying Michigas on the end of it. Anyway, okay. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I'm going to start in this middle hole, and I'm going to start going this way because I'm going to leave this end to be able to tie it off here. And I'm going to, oh, look, the curve is kind of handy. Look at that. Okay, right on. And just kind of just sew down this way, and then I'm going to sew back. And this, like I said, this is how I do those single signature books. Just a really fast way to do a notebook. Go back up. Yeah, it was really inspiring to see what other artists are doing. But let me tell you, I was doing, when I used to have that yarn business, I was going to do little indie craft shows here and there. And indie craft has just changed so much. It's very boho these days. But my friend had her daughter in town. Her daughter helped her drive across the country and move. And so she was with us, and it was so sweet to see her little face light up when we went into that place, and she just saw all the really cute little hipster things, and she was just like, oh, I love it. I'm going to get something. I don't know what. And it was just so cute. Her face just lit up. And then we went to this big food truck rodeo. And there were just like, oh my gosh, there were like 24 trucks there. And I mean, my selection was limited because I am celiac, so I have to eat gluten free. So that limited my choices. But good Lord, if I had to like choose, oh, look at this. This is going to, all right, I'm going to cheat because if I go out this way, it's going to put this on the wrong side. So I'm going to just skip this hole altogether and come back out this hole and just be okay with that. And then tie that knot. But I'm going to tighten it up because I've got plenty of string here. All right. Yay. All right, y'all. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Did something fun. It's just been gorgeous here. Gorgeous spring weather. It was almost a little hot today. But we had so much fun at that little food truck rodeo. And she's an artist as well. She does. You know what? Maybe it's not that I go there, that I have to actually go through. Yeah, maybe it's because if I tie it off here, since the hole's so big, you know what? I'm gonna do this. This is all right. This is just making it up as I go kind of thing. And then come back out this way because otherwise that knot's going to slip back to the backside and I don't want it to do that. Okay, that might help it a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Anyway, she's a collage artist and she's looking at, doing her art business and getting ideas of how other artists are hitting like little markets like that. Because, it's one thing to do gallery art, but little markets like that, if you want to get involved in those, it kind of requires a little more product, which you can do because you can like put your art on t-shirts and stickers and all kinds of things. Okay. Yay! So after 2 years, I finally get that stitched down. And I'm going to leave this in here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to weave it into this right here, right now, because I don't want to lose this. And I might as well just put it in there. And if I need to use it, I'll unweave it. So, all right. And I'm just going to, there's probably better needles to do this with, but I don't think I have one here. I think maybe I do. I don't know. All right. Yay. I need my comb. And this is a hand spun single ply, so it was a really hairy wool. Might even be mohair. I don't know. It's something I had laying around and I thought would be a great idea to use as a warp because you don't use a lot of tension here, but boy, the hair it's making it a little sticky. There we go. Yeah, I feel like I need a comb to pull that down. I don't think I have one here. I have one by the loom. All right, I'm just going to do it a little bit to get it kind of attached in there and not go nuts. Yeah, but I like that you can weave like all kinds of ephemera and stuff in there. It just, like I said, it adds such a great little dimension to your journal. I like little interactive elements like that. Just makes it interesting. And this would be better if I had a long needle, a long weaving needle. All right, I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And then at least it won't, I don't feel like I'll lose it from there. All right. And then the other thing I was going to do is actually, I think I'm going to stick this in here for now because I'll probably paste that in somewhere. Maybe here, I don't know. And then this one though, this big one, this letter size one, I really want to just put here. But I think I want it to go this way because then that way the letter that I put in here, if it falls out, it'll fall into the book as opposed to falling out of the book. Because even though it has this flap, these flaps aren't terribly secure after a while. So for envelopes, I try to do it to where it falls out, it falls this way. But I also feel like I want to put something on the back side because you kind of can see that. So if the letter's not in there, then what I have, let's see, we got this. Adding the weaving page into the journals. Thank you. Yeah, the weaving page is just, I got that idea from somebody in my Weavers Guild was selling little paper looms, and I was trying to see if I could get some to sell or to take with me to Taos for the ladies to buy there, and they just aren't doing it anymore, which is just, I mean, they had a great thing going. All right, no, not that page. Maybe this one. Yeah, I kind of like that one. I don't want any, I want something that kind of matches, but I don't think I've been. Oh, this one's not bad. Yeah, maybe it's that one. No, I think it's the lighter one. Well, this will look lighter. I kind of like this green one, but a part of me wants to hoard. Yeah, I'll do the green one. A part of me is like, no, I'm going to hoard the green one. No, just put it in the book. Okay. Oh, I love this one. But that needs to be a page on its own. And the title, it has just one little, I don't know if you guys can read that. It says, "Be the earth never so unquiet." Interesting. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to, let's do it this way. Almost the same size. Where's my, here, I'm just going to mark it with a pen, a pencil. There we go. I'm going to cut it like this. And see how far that falls. And I think I'm going to be okay with just going over the back of those, of covering this up, because then that way it'll help secure it just a little bit more. All right. Of course, I'm only using glue stick. Yeah, another thing that you can do with the little looms is even just take like some of the yarn, little snippets of your yarn from your projects, and weave it, just kind of to secure it in there like I did with this. What if it was like all the little bits of yarn that you used, and then even maybe a note card, that you pop in there. So, okay. Okay, there's that. All right, and then I'm going to put that big envelope. What did I do with that big envelope? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Oh, is it in here? Oh, here it is. And I'm just going to glue that down here. Right on. All right, there's that. And it's really subtle. You can't really, I mean, you can kind of see. And these are just glassine envelopes. I get these from stamp collectors, a stamp collecting supply company. As a matter of fact, I want to say this size, this little size, was it. I mean, and they're insanely cheap, like $3 for 100. I mean, it's just crazy cheap. I mean, you can buy them at scrapbooking supplies, but I tell you, they're going to be way more expensive. And they come in so many sizes. If you can find a stamp and coin collecting place, there was one in Asheville, and then also on top of that, they had like cool little old stamps and old postcards, and I had gotten some of that type of stuff too. But you know, there's sometimes, I don't know, there's something about using that kind of ephemera where I'd rather paste in like, here's a receipt from when I bought those looms. But I love the look of this. I mean, it's just a standard old receipt with this crazy little number up top. But you know, it's a great little layering piece. I mean, you can buy a really old one from a ledger or a ledger page, or you can use what you're about to throw away. So, and I did that. I want to say that I did that in here. Wait, let me find out. I was just looking at that page. I think it was, yeah, here. This is my SEPTA. This is my subway ticket from Philadelphia right here. But it's a great piece of ephemera. And all I did was paste it across there and then eventually pasted and painted over it. But it's still just the texture that's down there. The green one brings out the little green. Oh, yeah, you know what? It does. It does. You're right. Look at that. I think it also, I don't know if you guys can see that gold sheen. It kind of shows up that gold a little more. And then I also have this blue up here, but I don't know if it's like a metallic paint pen that I have. And I love them, but sometimes it's hard to see them. So I'll probably go in with some white. You know what I might do? If it's like handy. If not, then we're hosed, and I'm gonna have to do it later or tomorrow morning. I usually have like correction tape, and that's really good for doing lines and then writing on them. White correction tape. Uh, People don't use that often because nobody's like, you know, you just go back into the Word document and reprint it. But every now and again, you can find the little correction tape things. I don't see them. Wait, is it in here? Hold on. I don't think it's in here. Okay, never mind. So yeah, I'm going to do something there, and I will add things here. I will journal into this, and I'll probably do, let me just get some paper out now. I might want to do something bigger than that. I mean, that's a nice little size, but I think I want something bigger. I wonder, let me see this. This is like, would that fit? Oh, I could make it fit. This is like a signature for a book I was going to make. But I could use it in here. Now that would be kind of cool, like a little mini book. A book in a book. I'm going to think about that. Okay. So many options. All right. So I think that's going to be it for today. I will be back tomorrow morning, probably at 10ish. Whenever at 10 might be coffee time. It depends on how I sleep, because I've been trying to really pay attention to my sleep hygiene, and last night was only 6 hours. So, all right, guys, I'm getting ready to go. The green with brains. I will see you guys tomorrow, probably 10ish, somewhere between 10 and noon. All right, talk to you later. Bye.